Hello, thank you for joining me here today for a Scorpio reading. My name is Addison. This is Leaping Lotus Tarot. Go ahead and take a deep breath for me if you would. Ground yourself into the present moment. Set your intention for whatever it is that you want to hear from this reading. And let's just go ahead and dive right in. What does Scorpio need to hear today? Ooh, we're starting off with the High Priestess. Gorgeous energy. Beautiful major arcana energy here. A little bit of mystery, a little bit of allure, but confidence, right? An empowered feminine energy who's not afraid to embrace the dark and the light aspects of herself. What else do we need to know about this High Priestess? Is this you? Is this someone you're dealing with? What do we need to know here? High Priestess energy here for Scorpio. Okay, we got a couple cards that I threw on the ground. All right, we have the Chariot, another major arcana card. Gorgeous. So what I'm getting here is that with the Chariot, that's Cancerian energy. And so we've got some water sign here. We've got some emotion. What's really cool is that the Chariot, Kate's Regretless Life is one of my favorite tarot readers. And she always talks about how the Emperor and the Empress ride in the Chariot. So initially my first thought was when the High Priestess came out was like, I wonder why this empowered feminine energy has like this, like why she's coming through with that kind of energy and not like an Empress energy. But what I'm getting here is that she is an Empress, but there is an aspect. Oh, this is so funny. The Empress is reversed sitting here. Okay, I wasn't gonna look at that card just yet, but it's just sitting there and I happened to look down. Okay, so we're gonna have to get some clarity about what this is because there's definitely a distinction here that this is a High Priestess. She's in the Chariot or going to move forward with perhaps an Emperor, but she's not an Empress. She's a High Priestess. So let me get clarity around this distinguishing factor. What makes her so clearly a High Priestess, but not an Empress? Why not an Empress? Why a High Priestess? And there's nothing wrong with a High Priestess, mind you, but it's not a full Empress. So there is an aspect of this feminine energy, perhaps, that's embracing more of a darker feminine energy. If you go to Turning Tides Tarot, there's a great reading out that Alicia did recently talking about the dark versus the light feminine. So I would definitely highly encourage you to go check out that video that she posted recently about, so whatever you see the date is that I posted this, go to her channel, Turning Tides Tarot, find a similar date, maybe about a few days before this, maybe a week before this, and you'll see that there's a dark versus light feminine. So there's very much the dark feminine aspect here with this High Priestess is what I'm getting. So I asked for clarity, right? I said, okay, we've got several cards. We've got a handful of cards here that I'm going to interpret as to why is this a High Priestess and not an Empress? But we have the Chariot, right? So this is not like a negative thing. A dark feminine is not necessarily negative in this aspect. She's just embracing a different empowered state that typically 333 on the timer, by the way, when I said that. So confirmation that nothing negative here, just embracing a different aspect of the feminine energy than say an Empress would, which is like the light feminine. So we're speaking to a dark feminine here. Clarification, a lot of reversals here. Oh my goodness. Pretty much all reversals. So let me go ahead and pull out the ones that are upright real quick. We have a Three of Wands upright and we have Strength upright. We've got these three birds flying around here, these blue birds. We've got Strength. So what I'm getting is that whatever this is, whatever she's having to be tough or strong about is having to kind of put her not in like necessarily a masculine energy, but it's putting her in her emotion with that Cancerian energy with the Chariot. It's causing her to be a bit more reactive, maybe a bit more explosive like a lion. It's like she knows that she needs to kind of keep the peace, but it's hard. Okay, 444 when I said that. We have the Devil reversed. So again, not toxic, not bad, just very much in her maybe reactionary type of energy. not wanting to be, knowing she shouldn't be, but can't really help it. The Hermit reversed. Yeah, again, knowing that she should kind of keep to herself here, kind of box it in a little bit, not be like super outward about it, but she kind of can't help it reverse, right? She's like having to express to somebody perhaps how she's feeling. Four of Discs reversed, more confirmation of not being able to hold something close to the vest here. Having to bring it to light, like, hey, I can't keep this to myself. I have to say something. You need to know how I'm feeling. Okay, Two of Swords reversed. No confusion. There's no confusion about this. There's no back and forth. She's very clear with the needing to be able to say something, not indecisive about this. As I look at this High Priestess card and I see the moon in the background here, and there's like the sky and this lightness kind of, it's very sharp. It reminds me, and even like her crown, it very much reminds me of like a Queen of Swords, almost in a sense. Like she's very cutting with her words, or very clear with her words, very, she's sitting on her intuition here. She's sitting on this moon. And there is a lightness here with this moon. So, the last card that we have in this pile here is the King of Swords reversed. So this may be who she's talking to. This may be this Emperor situation possibly that she's riding in this chariot with. This may be him. But let's get some clarity, right? Let's ask, who is this King of Swords reversed? Is this who she's having to express her emotions to, perhaps? Who is this King of Swords reversed in this context? Is this who the High Priestess is having to communicate with? We have Strength reversed. Okay. Maybe she's very clear that she needs to communicate her emotions, but she hasn't been able to yet, and that's what's taking strength. Huh. Can I just get some more clarity around Strength reversed, please? I need some clarity for Strength reversed. Five of Cups sort of sideways. There's a lot of crying tears in this one, a lot of sadness. Looking at the spilt cups, not really seeing, obviously the full emotional cups behind, and a full bathtub of tears here, but it's sideways. Somebody's very mature. This High Priestess is very mature. She knows that this is just, it's almost like she was dealing with a King of Swords, and it's like she got into like some sort of karmic thing with him, and it's like she knows better. There's something about this where it's like she knows better. She's cried a tub full of tears, but this whole time it's like her higher self or her higher perspective knows that it's like, she's like kind of in this blackness too, right? Like this is the dark aspect. And it's like she's observing herself in like this, I don't want to say drama, because like a High Priestess, I don't think is necessarily involved in drama, but it's like she sees it for what it is. And we had that double energy come out reversed, right? So it's like inherently she's not toxic, but she's involved herself in some way in something that's sort of toxic or a little karmic, and it's like this internal sort of eye roll, and it's like, oh, like why am I why am I dealing with this, right? This is interesting. Okay, can I know the nature of this? Like, what is the nature of this? Is it a romance? Is it work? Like, what is the nature of this thing that she's dealing with? What is the nature of this thing? I've got these cards, but I have a feeling I need to put them back in. I want a little bit. There we go. The nature of this thing is the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. I have two more cups. I have two more cards that are flipped up upside down that came out with this, but these two fell out upright and were first, and so I'm going to address them first, and we'll get some clarity as to what these are from the two cards that are face down right now. Two of Cups, this could very much be a romance, something about harmony and balance coming together. And then we have Six of Cups. So, and it's actually really interesting how we have these two here. It's like they're young and then they're older. So this story here could be somebody who maybe grew up with somebody. Maybe this is a family member. Maybe this is somebody that you grew up with, or you've like had a relationship with this person since childhood. Like you've known them for a long time or something like that. There's memories here. We have 10 of Swords reversed. I'm guessing just like a lot of history. Like at one point they stabbed you in the back or something like that, but like now you've moved past that somehow. What's this other card? Ace of Swords. Wow. Whatever this clarity is, whatever this decision is, to speak or to move towards something, it's decided. That Two of Swords came out reversed before. There's no indecisiveness here. There's so much clarity and decisiveness. It could, like I said, for some this might be a lover's connection with the Two of Cups. For some it's a sibling coming back into harmony after a troubled past with a sibling. This I'm getting almost like sibling energy here. Somebody like a childhood friend, somebody you grew up with. Somebody you've known for a long time, probably over 10 years with this 10 of Swords. Give me the outcome, please. Is this going to end peacefully? What are we... I've got Queen of Cups in reverse as I split the deck here, so there could be a message about advice, maybe being like, try not to get too caught up in your emotions with this. Try not to... yeah, because as I was shuffling there, I just saw also the Chariot reverse. So it's like, I think by being too much in your emotions somehow, it can keep this situation perhaps a little volatile. Like maybe you're in a more mature state than this person that you've been arguing with, and to keep your emotions in check so that things can actually balance out. Okay, we have Four of Cups reversed, and we have the Hierophant. So there definitely is a message to ground yourself with this earth energy here. Ground yourself into what you know to be right. Like, stick to your values and beliefs here. If you have a certain thing that you treat others how you want to be treated, or like some sort of value system that is important here, the emphasis is to lean into that. Say like religion is a common ground that you and this person have, and maybe you've kind of like strayed away from religion over time, but you're not like against it per se. And this is very specific, so this may only be for certain people, but say this person is really religious or something like that. 12-12 on the timer as I said it. So this could very much be a message for somebody. Lean into what used to connect you with this person in the past to be able to relate to them a little bit. So if they're very religious, like you might need to kind of bring up God and like timing and, nothing happening on accident, everything happening for a reason. And that may kind of help bridge this gap to be able to kind of like talk with this person again, and to make it a little more relatable and less confrontational somehow. Let's just see. Any final advice? Any final advice? Any other messages that Scorpio needs to hear for this reading? I certainly hope that whoever heard this received a message that they needed to hear. All right, we've got Piscean energy here with the Hanged Man sideways. Anything else? Three of Wands reversed now. Hanged Man sort of sideways. Seven of Wands. Death sort of sideways. The message I'm getting with this, the final advice, is to be okay regardless of how they handle this situation. 1333 on the timer. Lots of number synchronicities here. Basically, it's like, okay, you have to be tough. You have to be a warrior. We've had strength come out, right? And we got Seven of Wands. Like, you have to stand boldly and strong in your own power. But at the same time, you have to surrender to this process. You have to be okay with however they choose to receive this message. It may not be... the death card is, this is Scorpio energy, right? So here's your power card. This is like embracing the truth. This is embracing... it's kind of like telling you, don't try so hard, because it kind of gives like the ick factor. Like if you're trying really hard to get someone to like you or to be an agreeable, people can sense that. And there may be some sort of pushback from this person at this time of like, oh, like you're trying too hard kind of thing. And so that's like a key to sort of like step back. You don't need to fix this situation. It will come together on its own. They will come back to you is what I'm getting with this, but you have to kind of, I think it's worth you making the effort in the initial, like I think it has to be you that steps forward and tries to make this peace. And then when they're kind of still a little like, I don't know, it's okay. Like give peace and respect and surrender to that process, and then step back a little bit and just kind of wait and be open to a new cycle with this, a new beginning. Be patient with it, and I do think that they'll come back around to you, and they'll be more like, it's almost like they're not even going to address what it was, but they're just going to kind of just nonchalantly move past it. It's like almost like they don't want to talk about it anymore, um, but they want to move past it, but they don't want to like hash out any more of the details. And that could kind of be where the awkwardness is in it, because you might just be very forthcoming with that Ace of Swords upright. And you're like, hey, like head on, let's talk about this awkward topic. Like let's just say it how it is, and like let's talk about it and talk it through. And you're really open and reasonable, and they still have just like this sort of cringe ick factor with even talking about it. And then but when you back off and let it go and leave the ball in their court, they will come around, is what I'm getting with this, and they will kind of just never want to talk about it again, is sort of what I'm getting with it. So that was really specific. Don't know who that's for. Hope you liked it. If it's for you, please drop in the comments. I really want to know who this reading was for, because that was a very specific one that I haven't really gotten before exactly. So it's always really exciting when those kind of things come through. So anyway, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.